Good morning on this June 23rd, 2025. I just had a question pop into my head and it went like this. How does God become all-knowing? God becomes all-knowing by becoming all things, by experiencing all things, right? The Hebrew word for knowing, like in the parable where it said that Adam knew his wife Eve, it's experiential knowing. It's not just conceptual knowing, right? It's a knowing that is developed by experience. It's a wisdom that is developed by experience. God, in the non-form, actually is nothing, knows nothing, is merely unformed potential. So again, for God to become all-knowing, or all experienced in everything, it has to become everything. And so, as far as being human, does God know anything about being human? Not in the unformed form. Therefore, God had to become a human form to experience what it is like to be human, right? So we have learned concepts with a misconception that was formed from our emotional and psychological deficit. Because we come into this form with no remembering. We come into this form like a blank slate, and we're subjected to all of these impressions. And the initial impressions, we come in as a victim, if I may say so, as someone dependent on the environment around us, right? We come in so helpless that in this experience we conceptualize that God must be powerful because we respond from this unconscious feeling of being a victim, of being helpless. Our psyche then creates a powerful God from which we draw our support. As a helpless being, you need an all-powerful being to have your back, to support you. So we created the concept of an all-powerful God that is separate from us. But that is the misconception. That is the disconnect that we have all experienced in being disconnected or separate from God, right? That's the Maya, the illusion that we subjected ourselves under and into. And so now we are on this spiral, evolutionary spiral, to travel back to remembrance, to the remembrance of the One. But the One is not all-powerful. The One is only powerful as long as we need God to be powerful, as long as we feel disempowered. We need a powerful God. But at some point on this journey, the scales will tip and you will become more empowered in your consciousness, in your awareness, and you no longer need an all-powerful God, because now the power has shifted onto yourself, right? You no longer feel a victim of this life. You feel more like a participant now, right? So as the vibration changes within us, we actually change the image of God. God, in actuality, in its most primordial form, is just an energy, an unformed energy. I'm trying to see, I have to go back into the Bible and into the original words in Hebrew when it says in the beginning, the cosmos was void, was without form and was void, and the Spirit of God hovered over the darkness like a brooding hen. That's a metaphor about what I'm talking about here. God is a dark, unformed void that consciousness is brooding in. And the consciousness is this is one of those things. Did the chicken come first or did the egg come first? You have to let your soul answer that. But it is the consciousness that shapes the energy that we call God, where God becomes something via our attention and perception. God will become by how you perceive that energy, right? And so it's not a fixed thing, it's a no thing. And you, with the consciousness that you are shaping, are giving God form. Does that make sense? I know it's a little out there and maybe above the mental space, but that's how my consciousness, my vibration perceives it. So how did I start out? Oh yeah. How does God become all-knowing? By giving itself the experience of everything. You are God, experiencing the human life. I am God, experiencing the human life. Gathering knowledge for God of what it is to be human.